Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Jack of all trades, master of many. Today, I just want to talk about value and being priceless. Um, with me finishing everything I've been going through and stuff for this week, the challenges and the circumstances and the constraints that come against you when you're trying to do things that are right, things that you might feel be maybe not the best thing for right now, but the best situation um, will be at the end of the story. It's been a lot of resistance when it comes to my ideals and what I'm trying to do. Sorry about that. Things with myself. As y'all know, with me quitting my job and with me quitting my job and effectively starting my own business, starting to teach myself, learn myself, mentor from others, reach out to people to set a new trend and a new lifestyle for my family as well as myself. It has been difficult with my lack of resources being small, me not having too much of anything for myself and no stability, me being my age. It's not something that everybody might not be happy about. It's something that everybody doesn't agree with. Um, a lot of people's ideologies and the way they think can sometimes come from not just their environment, but from the time period they grew up in. So some people's mindset is go out and work. When that's great to have a great work ethic, but there's no end goal, because if you're just thinking work, you're gonna be working until you die. And that type of mindset and mentality is something to where that's not very prosperous at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with working. It just depends on what you're working for. And I will not put myself in a position to where I have to get stuck in the rat race. And with me reading and learning and seeing different things and different options and avenues, people call it, they're in the rat race, but nobody ever really wins that. From a book that I'm actually reading right now, I'm actually going to give a book list and let you guys know just where I'm at and what I'm doing when it comes to that, and some great reading, some great material. I think that will be beneficial and help to any and everybody. These are universal books. It always matters the perception you have, what the eyes you're seeing through, for the knowledge and things you're trying to get. So when it comes to that, your course or your path might not be as common or as ideal as everyone may think, but it's gonna work out in the end. It's one thing I try to tell people and be positive. God knows what He's doing, and it's okay for you not to know everything you're doing. The end goal, what you want to do, but you might not know how. So the main thing is take the little steps. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but this is what I'm working on. So when you figure out this is what I'm going to work on, what can I do to better myself to make sure I'm right with where the Creator, where God's trying to put me in the position I need to be in for myself, to make all these things manifest and come true, which is very possible. Not saying it'll be easy. It will be pushback, especially from close ones, the people that you are closest with. They know how to hurt you the most because they're the closest with you, so they have the highest value. Back around to value and being priceless. Everybody's valuable. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has something. Everybody is important in their own way. How you see it and how you determine the importance of yourself, you'll see the importance of everybody else. One thing with me is I couldn't start treating others a particular way because I wasn't treating myself that way. I cannot find the importance of a woman or a female, even if she doesn't have it within herself. I can't find that within her since I don't have it fully within myself. some of the insecurities and some of the fears, and the way we abuse things and people can come out um, harsh, and it can really leave a fingerprint or a footprint. It can imprint on somebody to where it impacts them. You might not know it. So with that being said, you learn how important you are. Because all it takes is one time, the power of one, a conversation, a touch, a smile, a greeting can change somebody's world for their rest of their life, or just for that day, because that day is all they have at the time. So with me learning how important I am, I also learned the responsibility I have to other people I know and don't know. So I'm learning the price and the value of people, and everybody's valuable, but you have to find out who's priceless within your life. Um, some of your closest friends, relatives, loved ones, those are the people that are priceless. You cannot change what they have done for you in your life and where they're trying to help you and grow you, even if it is through tough conversations or sometime a battle that they put at your front door. That's something you might need to check yourself with. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, with the people that you love and hold to such a high standard. When they put something at your front door that you might not be ready to receive at the time, but at the end result is needed. So you have to find the value in yourself first and foremost. Excuse me. So with the value of yourself becomes the value of everybody else. And then when you learn how valuable and important you are in this world and, this big grand scheme of things, you're not here to be forgotten. So what gift is buried inside of you that you need to get out? You understand your value, so you can't be bought. You can't let that be taken away. No matter who says what, who does what, you have to learn how to stick to your values and principles. And that's the hardest thing. A lot of times people don't have values and principles. To be honest, I didn't have some values and principles when it came to some things. Like, it just was what it was. So it's like, it's not a big deal. And my rationality was, if they don't care about it, why should I care about it? Just because somebody is ignorant or hasn't been around or doesn't know doesn't mean that you can't teach them or show them a better way. And that's my thing is now I just want to be able to be an example for whoever, kids, teenagers, young black boys, young girls, anybody that wants to do better with what they see in their surroundings, which is possible in any form or fashion. You can do that, but it starts with you first. And I was having a conversation with my dad yesterday. I won't go into too much detail, but he was just telling me his, ideals and what I should be doing, how I should do things, and how hard it is being a black man in America and this and that, which it is, and it's not, getting any easier. In the times we're in now, it's very difficult. But last time I checked, the world hasn't stopped making millionaires, And another thing I thought about looking at another YouTube video actually, and they looking at Forbes. The environment you're in, you don't have to stay there. People are being prosperous and happy all over the world. You don't have to stay in America to get, millions or billions. You don't have to stay in your environment to be happy. Actually, that will require some type of growth in expanding to where, not to where you can just grow, but where you can bless other people. Because that's where it's all at the end of the day. Like, I'm trying to get to give. I'm not giving to get, if that makes sense. I'm getting this to give to other people. I'm not trying to give this to get something back in return. No, that's not the end thing. And one thing that I can say about that is how you value and place people in your life. There should always be a purpose. There's always an end goal, and that's one thing I'm starting to learn, the purpose of everything. There's not one thing on this earth that has no type of purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, it's not gonna is dying and is dead. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna be here. So with that type of mindset, and sometimes it's hard to do, what is a purpose for the people that are in your life? What is the purpose of your closest friends? People say your income will be the average income of your 5 closest friends. Okay, what is the purpose of your so-called friends or your so-called, relationships? Some people are just cool to kick it with. Some people are cool for spiritual. Some people are cool for business. Your closest network, your closest group, what's their purpose in your life? And I had to figure out and learn it's nothing wrong with wanting something from people like that. There's nothing wrong with using people. It's wrong when you start to abuse people. So when you use people, that's what we're here for. Everybody's here for each other. Like everything, it comes back together. Everybody's valuable. So let me use your value and you can use my value, and we make that bond in that relationship to where we become priceless with each other, So if you're not finding a purpose with who you're talking to or why you're talking to them, other than, it makes me feel good or, it's good to have fun. Like, what are they helping you accomplish and do? What are you helping them accomplish and do? How are they helping you succeed at the end of the day? Like, having fun and everything is cool, but how are they helping you be successful and be happy and be one within yourself, or, have a close relationship with distant family members, or even, unknown father, unknown mother? How are they helping you grow? How are they helping you self-improve, So if you cannot find the purpose with somebody that's in your life, you might need to reevaluate what y'all are doing and the reason for y'all's relationship, because there's nothing worse than wasted time. You can get a lot of things back. Time isn't one of them. So with that being said, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with the people involved in it? What are you doing with what you have? Everybody wants to think and say, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that. I don't have the money for this. I don't know how to do that. Okay, what do you have? Let's work with that. God always has a way of using what we have, not what we don't have. Great example, Moses. He led a whole generation, thousands of people out of a country into a whole nother area. But he had a speech impediment. So rational, thinking would think, how can he move thousands of people and he talks, differently or funny, or doesn't speak as correctly as clear and plain. Not even saying that he's a great speaker. He cannot, have a straight, clear sentence without some type of space or gap in between it. But that's okay, because God used his brother Aaron, which allowed him to relay the message. I'm giving you the message and the messenger. Just do what I'm telling you to do. Like, do what I'm giving you. Do what's already put in you. His heart and his mind was so much in the right place that's what God was using. He can use anything. You can use whatever you have. God is in all of us. Whether you don't even have to be religious, because I don't look at myself as being a religious person. I'm a relationship person, and that's what it's all about. The relationship you have within yourself first, that spews out to others, to let the light shine that you have, so you can give. That it goes back to that. Everything really comes back in full circle. So understand the value of you, the importance of you, the value of the people around you, and what it means for somebody to be priceless when they're around you, because you know how important you are. Just think, if I'm this important, what type of people do I need to have around me? They need to be more important than I am. In my eyes, that's why I say they're priceless, because the value they have in my life cannot be counted. You are so important to me because of not just what you do for me, but what you do to me, when it's what you're saying, how you stretch me, how you grow me, and how you make me realize and check myself, even though at the worst of times it can seem like, but in all reality, it's all for the greater good. So just take that little bit with you. Find out who's priceless in your life. Find out who's in your life first of all, and find out not just are they valuable, but what's their purpose? Because everybody's valuable. You know, some people here for a reason, some people here just for a little season, and that's something that you have to figure out. You have to be real with yourself, and sometimes the hardest thing to do is that mirror test. You know, what are you doing? What are they doing? And be honest. You know, some could say, "Well, I'm a procrastinator. Well, I might be a liar. Well, my integrity isn't, that well. Sometimes I can't abuse people just to get what I want. Things like that. You have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, the purpose that I have in my life is this, and the purpose that this person has in my life is this. So how can we both use each other but not abuse the relationship that we have grown and built? It's actually a YouTube video I've seen from a guy named Brother Polite. Is very intriguing. Y'all should definitely check him out. I don't agree with everything he says, but the brother is really on a oneness mindset when it comes to a lot of things. So a lot of words and the definitions that we use on a regular day basis and for business really correlate. Even when it comes to friendships and gains and losses and reciprocity that we will have with each other. So I'm gonna try to make sure I put that link on the next video when I put the books. And I hope y'all just have a great one, and leave the comments and a like below. And hopefully this video is a little bit better. I'm trying to work on my editing to get it better for you guys. So thank you, and y'all have a great one. See you next week.